Well, see, you just messed that up by moving
Sorry, was
that.
you proper?
No, they have to be stuck in because they're rolling away.
Alright, okay. Good.
Okay.
You recording? Good. Good start. Good morning, Harris Academy. My name is Mr. Doherty and I'm joined by my co-presenter,
Mr. Rickenberg.
and we are here for our weekly ramble of jogging around the world, season 3, episode
2. On Spotify, episode 22. I've been rehearsing all these.
episode 22
On Spotify. I've uploaded loads onto YouTube and I haven't been bothered to upload them onto Spotify.
Right.
But the Spotify numbers is 22, YouTube it's like 10? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So does that give us the opportunity to talk about where we reached on Spotify?
Yeah, so we hadn't done this in a while, right? We used to take the mick and say we coloured in all the countries that we've reached, but I can't actually count how many countries we've reached. So our lovely producer is going to go to the places where we're the least popular, and what countries have we graced with our knowledge?
Well, we have reached Turkey.
Turkey 8 is now called, by the way.
Wow.
I used to get annoyed with being confused with a bird.
Turkey, yeah. My bad. I was surprised with Egypt.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great one.
That's a good one.
Who's listening to our podcast in Egypt?
Don't know.
Well, who's listening to it in Turkey?
Pakistan.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
We're reaching. But also, what this could be is because we've got Asian community in the school. If they're going home, they listen to the podcast.
Maybe.
And we know one person who's from Pakistan who would definitely listen to the podcast.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Okay, good.
And what else? Anywhere else?
Japan.
It's in. I told you, we're reaching the advanced countries now.
We're doing well. Transgressing the globe.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
In
Go on, give us one more.
Argentina.
Argentina, come on.
It's a cracker.
Yeah, one more. Go on.
UAE.
UAE. I reckon
Hong
someone will
Kong.
go on
Everywhere.
there. Everywhere.
Where was that one?
Hong Kong.
Wow.
We're going to ignore 95% UK.
Click on that as well. It's all right. Southeast Asia.
And then what happened after last week's episode? This is really funny.
Go on, what do you
Where
mean?
did we get banned
Oh, we
from?
got banned from Russia and Belarus.
Why did they ban us?
Because we put, first of all, I got copyrighted for Daft Punk.
Right.
I do put in the notes, all rights for the intro and outro go to Daft Punk. I wonder if one of the adverts or something like that in there, as the adverts come on at the end, I wonder if that got us banned.
We've upset Russia and Belarus.
We've upset Russia and Belarus, so we're causing geopolitical problems here, so.
Because we touched upon all these subjects,
exactly,
so
yeah.
this is why. Okay. Well, that's a great way to start. I'm happy.
What's in your cup, sir?
I'll
tell you.
Yeah, you made it.
Is it Kenko? No, it's Nescafe.
Oh, we're finishing off the Nescafe. I thought you said you were using the Kenko.
No, I'm using Kenko Gold. Oh, it was Mr. Dottie's birthday last week. Did we say happy birthday to you last week?
I don't know if we did.
No, I don't think we did. But I bought him coffee because we need it all the time.
Yeah.
And I was actually Googling what's the best instant coffee whilst I was in the aisle in Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And it said that was like 4th out of 5th or something like that. Because it was too expensive. So I gave you that one.
So Kenko Gold or what?
Kenko Gold, it's like Intense or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 scoops?
2 scoops. And I don't like I feel pressure making your coffees now because it's like, don't burn it by putting hot water in straight away.
You can't burn it.
So I've got to fill it up with a little bit of cold water and then load it up with the hot water. No sugar and no milk.
No sugar, no milk. I'm still on this diet.
It's like he's on the Western Front drinking that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Well, except Saturday night I'm going for a curry and I'm telling you I'm having all the carbs.
Yeah.
All literally all of them.
Anything that includes carbs. Can I have please?
Yeah. I'm not even going to have curry. Just carbs. What about you? What are you drinking?
Same as you, but I'm having proper coffee. So it's the Kenko. It's sugar and a half, 2 scoops, and filled with milk.
Sounds absolutely lovely. And Ava, that is a proper Friday drink.
That
you've
is a
got
proper
there.
Friday
What
drink.
have you got, Ava?
I've got a fridge, not sponsored, fudge brownie.
Yeah, other milkshakes are available. Can everyone agree that's such a smaller bottle?
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
got
they've
smaller.
decreased.
Yeah, of course, everything's
But I
getting
guarantee it's the same amount of sugar in there. Like.
yeah, it's good. I don't even want to learn. Right, anyway, that's the drinks for today. So what are we discussing today?
We're discussing India, but first shout out, sir.
Shout outs, right. Who's top of the list, Ava, for today's shout outs?
Well, it says Yelders. I'm assuming Miss Yeldon.
Our Yelders, Miss Yelders.
That's our Yelders,
That's
yeah.
our Yelders.
Kids cannot call her Yelders.
They've not got a degree, so we're the only ones that can call her Yelders. So
Why are we shouting out Miss Yeldon?
we're shouting out Miss Yeldon. It's weird saying that. We're shouting out Miss Yeldon because she got nominated, sir, for a Harris Transforming Lives Award.
That is
Now,
incredible.
Nothing will make me happier than if her name gets announced and she's got to stand up on that stage, because she'll be absolutely mortified. She looked like she was ready to kill whoever nominated her.
Yeah, and when you say stand up on that stage, that's in front of 4,000 teachers.
Yeah, that's in front of
it's
4,000
not just the
teachers.
stage; it's 4,000 teachers
Wow.
in a room together.
But when you,
and Miss Yeldon's name's going to come up on the. But when I mean the big screen as well, you know the one we've got in the hall.
Yes.
It's like 4 times the size of that.
Oh my god.
It's like bigger than a cinema screen,
Yeah.
and her name is going to come up on there.
But
let's be honest, she deserves it.
She bakes cakes, does the year 11 cakes every single year. She basically got recycling installed in the school.
Yeah.
She used to do the crisp packets.
And
right. She just does everything that's asked of her. She's just an absolute warrior, and she's such a valued member of this department.
And just the difference she makes with certain children we have in this school, and the relentlessness she has with it, and she puts up with us too as well. I think is also
especially on Friday when she's got no backup.
She's got no backup. It's just me, you, and the elders, and she has to put up with us. No wonder she's out of there straight away, spinning.
But what I do like this year, she's very much encouraging you with diet as well.
Yeah, she has been very supportive.
On the team now, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. So it's been good. So, at Miss Yeldon, that's your first shout out for Transforming Lives. Nominate that. Brilliant. Next one.
Paul O.
Oh, this is a personal one for me. So Paul O in 9M. Paul, you and your mother are getting a shout out from me because his mum, I think she runs a catering company. The Instagram's wicked.
Hey, but this is ridiculous, by the way.
And so I was speaking to her on the phone the other day, and I said to her, "You still haven't brought me any food in," and because she promised me on, I think it might have been Sports Day, and I was doing my gate duty last night, and Paul comes up with a carrier bag with the most amazing looking rice, chicken, prawns, plantain, which I think is going to spark a bit of a debate whether it's plantain or plantain. Depending on where you're from.
Yeah, I don't think the comments are going to light up at that one, so
I reckon they could.
Yeah.
I reckon they could, yeah. I'm not sure if it's some of our children from Nigeria call it plantain, and the kids from the Caribbean call it plantain.
Okay.
But correct me, tell me the answer to this question. And then she gave me a lovely pina colada drink. It's not an actual pina colada, I think it's just a soft drink flavour. And with homemade sausage rolls.
Yeah, sausage roll was very nice, so
Rick, I had a sausage roll, so that is my lunch sorted for today.
I think she gave my mum some food,
She
and it
did.
was banging.
It's amazing.
It
Yes,
was
she
really
did.
nice.
I think I found out your mum was getting fed by kids in my year group, so I rung her up and was like...
I also just want to say, before he picked up the phone, he said, Paul's mum trying to get some food.
So thank you so much for feeding me. This is your shout out. I did email you this morning to say thank you and tell you
and Paul's an absolute legend as
well.
well.
What loves geography as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves geography.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Big geography fan. And then finally...
Is our last one?
No, it's not on there.
Oh, it's not on the list.
The best reprographics person in the entire country.
Yeah.
The backbone of this building.
Mando. Also known as Mandy.
And also known as Mrs.
Nichols. She's the backbone of this place.
Yeah.
She bails me out.
There's no one like her.
I think she bails me out nearly daily.
Yeah. On
helping me out with printing. She gets it done rapid. She never moans. It's always done exactly.
Fully. I don't know if we did it at the end of the year, but fully deserved of Maltesers at the end of every half time.
She gets her Maltesers. Yeah. So there's Mandy. There is your shout out. Thank you so much for keeping this place ticking.
Everything that you do. It's mad how good she is.
And efficient. Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So thank you very much. All right. What are we discussing today then?
India as a superpower.
India's super. I love this topic when this comes up. Absolutely love it.
Good topics. We teach this to our year 9s, don't we?
Yeah.
So first of all, where's India then? I suppose
India is in Asia.
Yeah.
It's sort of in like. Would you describe it as like central southern Asia?
Yeah,
southeast, would you?
No, I think it comes to southern Asia because it is on the southern part of Asia there, isn't it?
Now, India has the largest population in the world.
Yeah.
Has the largest population in the world. Last time, if I remember from the lessons, 1.428 billion.
I think it's 1.428. Yeah, I was going to say 1.3, but you're right. Ava's going to have to check it for us, I think.
Yeah. India population, please.
But it's so big that it's classed as like a subcontinent.
Yeah.
It's huge.
We mentioned India sort of last time, but it's got the biggest population in the world. Recently overtook China, which for us as geographers is like a 100-metre sprint. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to see who's first in that race. Do you know what I mean? So it's got the biggest population in the world, 1.428 billion. 1.4 is going to be 3 now, isn't it?
1.45
Ooh, going up.
billion.
It's good. It's really
Right. India also has. Can you just type in India GDP, please? Because I need to remember this as well. I think it's $3.6 trillion.
Yeah.
Is it?
In 2022, it says 3.4. So.
Yeah, it's because it overtook the UK. It's now it's now like the fifth biggest economy in the world.
It's gone down.
Oh.
What did you say it was?
3.6.
Oh, it's gone up. 3.95.
Is it? Nearly 4 trillion, is
Wow.
it?
So it's just and ever growing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to grow. It's going to grow forever and ever and ever.
And is that now because their economy is really booming now? We could probably touch upon it a bit more, but it's going through an industrial revolution now.
Yeah, and it's got, similar to China, it's got the population to work.
Yeah.
Like I was discussing this with, I remember we were discussing it with, I think it was with with the year 7s or the year 8s, and it was talking about like population sizes, and China's population alone, we've got 1 billion people who can work, whereas in England we've got 30 million.
Yeah, it's insane, yeah.
So they're going to be productive in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
What else did I put on there for that little tick list? GDP.
You put population, size, and economy.
Yeah, size, I think it's like the 5th or 6th biggest country in the world or something like that. It's huge.
Absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know India where it is, bit of a backdrop to it. Obviously we spoke about the economy, the population, and it's ever growing. So what's a superpower?
So a superpower is a country that has influence over other countries. So it has major political, social and environmental and cultural influence over other countries. At the moment we'll say there's one superpower. Who is it? America, USA. And if you think about what TV programs you watch, if you think about what music you listen to, food you eat, it's dominated by the USA, right? So the concept that we're looking at in this year 9 topic is India a global superpower? At the moment, no, it's not. No. Right, but could it be in the future? And we determine who's a superpower by looking at hard power and soft power.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to ask you what the definitions are.
Definitely. So hard power is where you would influence countries through like economics, military means, right? Whereas soft power would be more cultural, so it'd be things like food, music, fashion, so TV, that sort of stuff.
Perfect. So when we're looking at hard power, it's how they control other countries. So like the UK most of the time will follow the USA, because you could argue that the USA has almost military and economic control over the UK, as much as we'd hate to admit it. But if there's a war, think about Iraq and stuff, we follow the US in. Like, there's all that sort of stuff, we've got these ties with them. And soft power is exactly what I said a second ago. Think about the music you listen to, think about the films that you watch and that sort of stuff. So all of that most of the time in this case is going to be American for us, isn't it? So so that's hard and soft power. So now we're going to discuss what are the reasons that India is a superpower, or could be regarded as a superpower. So what do you reckon? What's the reason why India could be regarded as a superpower?
I think militarily it's got a huge army. Am I right saying it's like 1 million soldiers?
I'm pretty sure it's the second biggest army in the world.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
We've got to do quite a bit of fact checking today.
Yeah, I think there's over 1 million people in the army. I know that.
So that alone, and obviously they're investing more and more into their military to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Have they got a nuclear program?
I don't got to that.
I don't know if they do, but they've definitely started as well a space program.
Yeah.
So that then starts being massively global influence if you're one of the few countries going up into space, because not everybody's got a space program.
You can also argue that they're a superpower because of the size of their economy.
Yeah.
4th biggest economy in the world.
It's ranked 4
Is it?
in the military.
In terms of like the biggest. Yeah.
And 1.4 million active personnel.
Yeah. That's going to be like what, like 1% of their population. Something like that.
Wow, that's incredible. So that gives you that strength globally, doesn't it? You can protect yourself.
And you've got to think, if you're thinking about controlling other countries, you're not going to pick a fight with India. You're not going to wind India up to the extent that they're going to fight you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or get into military action with you. So that's that. The thing about the countries around it, someone like Pakistan probably thinks about it because they don't get along.
Yeah.
But I think countries like Sri Lanka and stuff, India have got control arguably over a country like Sri Lanka, because and I don't want to say anything controversial, I think I might be, because of the economic and military prowess of India.
Yeah, no, totally.
And also because their population's so big, they've got big working population. So again, their economy's growing and growing and growing. If an economy's breaking 4 trillion, then they've got some serious numbers going on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's their hard power then. So the economy and the military make it, that's their hard power, that global influence, how they can control countries in the region and globally. Yeah?
So how are they a superpower using soft power?
So let's go. As we love to discuss on this podcast, is food. We're always talking about talk about curry. And maybe step it back from that, like spices first of all. Spices and tea. Tea comes from India, doesn't it? And then all the spices that have been shipped around the world. So like food. If you think chicken tikka masala, is it still our national dish? It's not anymore. It's changed. But but everyone knows what curry is. Everyone eats, or the majority of people eat curry as takeaways everywhere. Not that is
global,
but it's global.
Yeah. Also, what was it? It's also it was. Oh yeah, another one. Bollywood.
Yeah.
Films.
Biggest film industry.
Yeah, it's the biggest film industry in the world. Bollywood. They
which
pump
always
the amount of films they pump out.
Which always surprises the kids, doesn't it? Because everyone automatically thinks Hollywood's the biggest film.
So then, when you think about who controls us,
America. Yeah. So no wonder we're watching, and obviously they would be predominantly in English American films, and Bollywood maybe not.
Because I don't think I've ever really been exposed to Bollywood.
I don't know if I haven't ever watched one. Have you ever seen one, Ava?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
I've got two stepbrothers who like putting it on the TV for jokes.
Right, and what they like to watch? Good?
Not really. The CGI is horrible.
That's fun. Like doing backflips and stuff.
Yeah. But it just shows. But that's really interesting. That point you've made there. That like, obviously we're so closely tied to America that we don't even see Bollywood films. But I'm sure there's communities in the UK where they're like, no, I watch Bollywood films all the time, and there'll be kids in this school who I assume maybe on a Saturday night they're watching Bollywood movies.
Yeah, of course,
So, but it's the biggest film industry in the world. So imagine that influence.
Yeah, so those they're what we call their cultural exports, aren't they?
Yeah.
And another thing is yoga. Yoga's massive at the moment, and you love a bit of yoga now.
Saturday mornings. That's how I'm spending my Saturday mornings now, Ava.
You should go to mindfulness club.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's not running anymore.
You should start it back up again.
Who did mindfulness club?
Miss Cahill.
Yeah. I did actually ask about that, but yeah. So yoga again, worldwide.
But people forget that it originated in India. There's a World Yoga Day, so if you're talking about a global influence, then something that originated in India has become global. We'll stick with those three cultural exports there for the soft power.
Just to throw one in there, what about religion?
Religion's an interesting one. Whether we can argue that they started in those countries, you could argue that things like Hinduism and maybe Sikhism and stuff probably originated around that area. But you could argue because of the diaspora. I love that word. Diaspora or diaspora spreading across the world. You can argue that it spread across everywhere. But then you've also got. I suppose you could. Religion's an interesting one. I think. I don't know whether what I'm saying is. I don't think we can attribute that and say that to India. I think there's some sort of point. We'd have to sort of fact check where those religions come from. But
there's definitely maybe some influence, like people, the Festival of Colour and stuff. Festival like people would associate those with India,
with India and those sort of communities.
And big religious festivals and stuff like that. You can sort of picture it. Well, I can anyway. Okay, cool.
80% is Hindu. 14% Islam. And then you've got like 2% Christianity, 1% Sikhism.
Right, so Sikhism is actually quite.
That's what's interesting also, because when we colonised India, we put a caste system in place. Right, and we promoted because the Sikhs were the best soldiers. We promoted Sikhs to the echelons of society. So if you're thinking there,
the Gurkhas.
Might be, but something like that. And then because of that, they were at the top, and we've got 80% of the population there who were then cast in the bottom.
I think that caste system is still massively prevalent.
Yeah, there is a really good book. I gave it to the history department. I contributed to the history department, and it's called Empire Land. So if you ever get a chance to have a read of that, it's really interesting. Right, give me a couple of reasons quickly why India isn't a superpower.
So these are the things that are holding it back, right? Because there's a lot poverty. There's some serious poverty in that country. A lot of people live below the poverty line, which then links to the fact that there's huge informal housing settlements.
I think that the GDP per capita is still in the hundreds, not in the thousands or anything like that. I think it's still in the hundreds, and huge informal settlements such as Dharavi. 1 million people live in that informal settlement, and we are doing our best to avoid the word slum here. We are also. What I love about that Dharavi lesson is that we teach it. We start off by saying, look at this place. And we showed a video where someone's like going to the toilet off like a drain pipe. Do you know what I mean? And then by the end of it, they're like, no, this place is actually quite cool.
It looks good.
Because all the community and stuff, it's like really self-sufficient economically and socially, isn't it?
It's safe. There's no crime. No one steals from each other because you'd be cast out as a community. No one would have you there.
Yeah. Another problem, pollution.
Pollution.
And it's mainly because of their industries.
Yeah.
So their rivers, I think they've got, in rivers, they've got in cities, they've got the top, I think it's like 18 out of the top 20 most polluted cities. And
polluted rivers.
And cities as well.
Right.
Because they've got a really big issue with smog.
Yeah.
And because of still in rural areas, they're burning crops after they've used them, so that they can refertilise the soil. And because of the Everest being there, the wind always hits Everest or hits the Himalayas and then goes towards the major cities, so they just get covered in smoke.
Some of those images of the smog is insane, isn't it? You just can't see in front of you.
And then also river pollution, that's because of industry. So if they're trying to make leather or something, or like the tanning agents and stuff like that comes out of the cow skin, they just put into the river. And I think they said that if you drank some of it, it's actually toxic. And because also some of the rivers, like the Ganges, are religiously and culturally important, like going to the toilet and stuff in there isn't the problem, and they throw dead bodies in there.
Yeah.
As part of like rituals to send them off to like the other side sort of thing.
Yeah, so that is it. So poverty and pollution are big things holding it back, which stop it from becoming a global superpower. Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty good. How are we looking?
21 minutes.
Right, yeah. Let's go for this.
Let's go. Because so we'll do a quick recap, or we're all right?
No, they can
listen to it. Okay, what are we on now? The news. Right, first news story. What we got, Ava?
Winter fuel tax.
Controversial.
You've been looking forward to this one, haven't you?
Controversial. Labour government.
Yep.
Arguably contrary to their beliefs of helping everyone out, has decided to scrap the winter fuel allowance for anyone who is not on pension credit. Right. So if you take if you are a pensioner and you're earning from your state pension or private pension over £13,000 a year, you don't get £250 payment to help you with your winter fuel bills. And I didn't realise that it was only £250.
So that's £250 a year.
Yeah, so in the winter you get that payment or something like that.
I thought that was a month.
Yeah, no, it's a year.
So you get that one-off payment of about £200-300 in the winter. That's going to help you pay for your bills. It doesn't pay for all your bills.
No, it just helps you a little bit.
It just helps you a little bit.
So
you've got some people, and then actually Rishi Sunak said a point, right? And he said, you're giving train drivers who are on 65 grand a year a 10 grand pay rise, but you're taking away a payment from elderly people who are only on 13 grand a year. So when you put it that way, it obviously doesn't sound good, but that's just politics trying to score political points. But also, if I'm someone who's elderly, right? Say I'm someone like Elton John, who probably is allowed benefits, right? Not benefits, but probably can get a state pension. He doesn't need the winter fuel allowance. So what I'm getting at is the idea here is, and some people are like, look, I don't need the.
He doesn't. He lives in LA.
But it's like, I understand the fact that if you just miss the cut-off of slightly, it could be quite devastating, right? But also, they said something like there's about £2 million sitting there waiting for people to claim pension credit. So a lot of people could claim pension credit but aren't, and then they're still feeling that the winter fuel allowance has been taken away. Yeah. It's interesting. I'll probably come back to it again because I could talk about it for ages. But it links to our ageing population topic. Yeah. We've had a whole podcast on the ageing population topic, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it links that definitely for our GCSE students.
Yeah.
You haven't done that yet, have you?
No.
That's usually the 21st.
Next time.
Okay, interesting. So that is that, and that has caused quite a lot of controversy, hasn't it? It really has been big news. What's next over on the news?
Sewage in Southend.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
Pictures are terrible. I'm fuming. How can that? So basically, for those of you who haven't seen the pictures, it was circulating on social media. There is just, you've got an aerial image of Southend seafront, and there's just this huge dark black patch floating through the sea, and it's raw sewage. The water companies are pumping it into the sea.
I think they need to know what raw sewage is. Raw sewage is the stuff you literally flush down the toilet, and it's not been cleaned. It's all the gross stuff that goes down your toilet.
Whatever goes down your toilet is pumped straight into the sea.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular beach as well.
It's just like, it's absolutely shocking.
It was in Whitstable as well, wasn't it? And people were getting ill.
Yeah. Do you know who Fergal Sharkey is?
No.
From the Undertones, the band from Derry.
Yeah.
He's a massive campaigner for cleaning.
He is. Yeah, no, he was on Mortimer and White House.
I won't sing his songs, but he's
so that raw sewage thing's, it's a nightmare. They're getting fined and they're saying basically we're only doing it when our tanks are full.
Yeah.
So when there's a lot, they're saying that when it rains, we can flush it out because then it's more likely to disappear. But you see the pictures, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's shocking.
And they said it's interesting that when it comes to water companies, there's one water company for each region of the UK, so you're forced to pay your money to these people.
Yeah, they sent me a text saying I owe money. I owe £25.
And then they're pumping sewage into the...
I might ring them up and be like, you're not having it. Put that £25 towards cleaning up the seafront so I can go and have a swim.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started.
Last one.
Prisoners released.
They're full. We're at capacity.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to car parks, full.
The way it sounds sounds like it's the charge of the Bastille in Paris, where every single prisoner ever has been released into our streets.
No, it's only 1,700 have been released, but still, the fact that we're full, the prisons are full, but
people are in there and they're in there for like fraud.
Well, yeah,
if you're in there for fraud, prison, I get it, but maybe they don't need to go to prison for it.
It depends what you've done.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in prison for like getting too many points on your licence and not appearing to court, maybe prison isn't necessary.
Yeah, and there's other things. There's countries, we won't go into it in too much detail. There's other countries around Europe who have changed a lot of laws and their crime rates have dropped.
But what the issue is now is that it's the probation officers saying, look, we haven't got the capacity to deal with these guys coming out.
And so it's just causing loads of problems. We need the whole system needs reform. But I didn't realise the guy from Timpson's is now head of the prison reform.
I didn't know like someone who wasn't an MP could go in the cabinet. That's what I didn't know.
Really interesting. But basically, we just need prison reform.
He said that 1/3 of people in prison shouldn't be there.
No, easily. And if you change that, and education, and when people get out of prison, give them job opportunities and help them, you will ease the pressure on the prison service. But that could be a whole other podcast. So where are we at, Ava? Is that us for the news?
Yeah.
We've got the fact.
Quite hot topics there. Yeah. Sorry, Ava.
We could probably do a whole podcast on those 3 topics.
We could, yeah.
Right, the fact. I've got the fact here.
Go on then.
Talk about geopolitics.
Yep.
And how, imagine you're this country, you're the head of these 2 countries. How do you deal with all the issues going on in these countries, especially the issues going around you? China and Russia, how many countries do you reckon both of those countries border each?
Together or each? Oh, sorry, each.
So they both border the same amount of countries. How many countries do you reckon share a border with Russia and China?
I'm just going to go for it here. 7.
14 each. 14 each.
Should let Ava have a guess there. I'm trying to.
I'd read it already.
So. Right, yeah. 14 each.
Right. Finally, it's not weather forecast. So
hold on, say that stat again. So China and Russia border 14 countries each.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, it's lovely. Do you know what?
2 letters, CBs.
CBs, clear blues. I'm loving this cold weather. I
love winter.
This morning,
I was going to. The fact I'm not sweating in my car.
Yeah,
not the fact I can turn the heating on.
Yeah, I had to have the heating. It was cold this morning. So it's nice. We need a bit of cold weather. This is good. Autumn's good vibes in autumn. Yeah. Autumn is good vibes. How's it looking for the weekend?
Well,
nice, isn't it?
Needs to be nice for a round of golf on Saturday, Ava.
Well, you got CBs on Saturday. 18 degrees.
Lovely.
Sunday got a bit of cloud though. 20 degrees.
Warming up though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting a bit warmer.
Sunday and Monday is supposed to be 20 degrees. Tuesday 21. Wednesday 23. Thursday 23.
Well, that's just this weather's all over the place. Anyway, that's another podcast. Right, is that us done?
That's us done.
Oh, well, Ava, thank you so much for your time again on a Friday morning, as always. So have a lovely weekend, and you, Ava. Cheers. That was good.
All right, let's see if we've
got an advert. Yeah.
That one's for you.
There we go. Thank you very much, Ava.
Nice one.
Right, let's do this. Yeah, over here.
Right. I thought that was an interesting one. Yeah.